My name is Nancy Davis, and I am a citizen of the state of Louisiana. 10 weeks into my pregnancy, I found out that my baby had a rare birth defect called a crania. The doctors told me that my baby would die shortly after birth. They told me that I should terminate the pregnancy because of the state of Louisiana's abortion ban. They could not perform the procedure. Basically, they said I had to carry my baby to bury my baby. They seemed confused about the law and afraid of what would happen to them if they performed a criminal abortion according to the law.
This woman's story kind of reminds me of things like, now stay with me, when conservatives gripe and complain about why aren't there more conservative professors in universities, these liberal universities? It's because conservatism leads to things like this. After a while, you kind of see that being regressive really hurts people's lives. And we've even seen some politicians, a handful, come out and at least admit that they have some regrets for voting for these fetal heartbeat bills. But to really listen to this woman's story, I'm a man, I'll never be pregnant, but to really, put myself in her mind and her emotions and her feelings of what it's like after getting that diagnosis, like she said, for 6 more weeks to carry this inside of you. It's still there. Like, you have to ponder all of this stuff at the same time and go on about your life and figure out how you're going to make a trip to another state work. And again, as I pointed out, as the horror stories pile up, the Republican Party really, really is just going to be in a worse position because this is real. This isn't hypothetical.
Now I am preparing to go out of state for this procedure next week. I want you to imagine what it's been like to continue this pregnancy for another 6 weeks after this diagnosis. This is not fair to me, and it should not happen to any other woman. This has truly been an emotional roller coaster.
Think about how many women will be in similar positions. They're literally carrying a fetus that isn't viable, and they have to get rid of it or they may die. They may not be able to put the funds together or gather enough public attention. The public may not notice it as much as these stories pile up for them to even go to a state where they can get an abortion under these types of circumstances, and they will die, and they've already died. I mean, really think about that. So again, you think about, conservatives right now in the Republican Party, you can't defend this. This doesn't make sense. In fact, a lot of Republicans are trying to scramble as we get closer to the elections, like, oh, well, let's move a little bit. But the damage is done already. The Supreme Court already reversed Roe v. Wade. Republican states have already passed these laws. So backpedaling now, it really doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't.
One thing I would like people to understand is very difficult and complex for so many reasons. Being a mother starts when your baby's in the womb, not on the outside. The attachment and everything that comes with it. So as a mother, as a parent, it's my obligation to have my children best interest at heart. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate everything. Thank you.
So the reality is that we move forward not just into the November midterms and the 2024 elections, but just really over the next several decades. We have an opportunity to really contribute to the change of this country. Because change is a constant, the establishment is weak. Now there's more opportunity than ever to get better candidates in office. Now those candidates who are in office may not always be in alignment. We do have the Marjorie Taylor Greenes of the world, but again, the doors are opening for everybody, and that's why our involvement is so important. That's why we have to continue to be leaders and givers within our communities. So not just federal elections, not just state and local elections, but just being a part of coming together with good policy positions, getting them passed, helping to fund them, helping to lobby them, things like that. So, as we see this destruction, I think that the silver lining is that now more than ever, we have the opportunity to come together and really, really restructure this country in a way that makes sense.